Everything you know about modern music, from bedroom producers to independent artists and streaming, can be traced back to a single invention that most people don't associate with music. Released in January of 1984, a computer came into play that stopped music from asking permission. Before the creation of the Macintosh, music was controlled by a handful of gatekeepers. If you wanted to record, then you needed money. If you wanted to release something, then you needed a label. And if you wanted to be heard, you needed to be on the radio. Talent alone was not enough. Access was everything. Technology wasn't there for musicians. It was there to keep the system running exactly as it was. Then Apple came and changed the game entirely with the release of the Macintosh on January 24th of 1984. Apple wasn't selling a business machine, but a creative one, sending the message to musicians that they didn't need permission to make music, and offering a new avenue that defied the way powerful institutions said you had to do it. And by the late 80s and early 90s, Macs were everywhere. People were recording demos and creating sound that wouldn't have survived in the traditional studio. Thanks to Apple, artists had the space to experiment without consequences. This is where the independent artists quietly began, and once music became digital, there was no going back. Then comes the iPod, released in 2001, and suddenly your entire music library can fit in your pocket. With the help of iTunes software, songs stopped being physical objects and music went from hard copies to files. Not only did Apple change the way music was sold, but it also changed the way we listened to it. Think about what grows out of that. SoundCloud, home studios, YouTube careers, and TikTok and Spotify careers. Apple didn't create those artists, but it is responsible for creating the conditions for them. Power shifted from institutions to the individual, allowing anyone to have access. But unlimited access is a slippery slope. On one hand, power to the people, but on the other, mass production flooded the music ecosystem. For listeners, options were unlimited and convenience rewired listening habits. Attention spans shortened and intentional listening became background consumption. For artists, competition intensified. Competing local turned global, and attention became the rarest form of currency. When everyone can create, the volume becomes overwhelming and a sea of noise is produced. Natural barriers no longer exist, removing most limitations from the creative process. And while limitation is controlling, especially at the hands of powerful institutions, I find it very important in the creative process because it pushes us to think outside of the box, and oftentimes the best songs came from heavy limitations. Technology didn't destroy music, but the ground did shift, exposing it to scale. The art is still there, but it lives in a completely different world now. I'm Tessa from Love People, and thank you for watching.